Hello everybody, welcome to Aegis Esports, our monthly tournament for March. I'm Hirsch, I'm joined by my good friend Schwartz. Schwartz, how are we doing today?
Most excellent, my dude. Excited to see some top 8 action.
Yeah. So, it's actually been a very interesting day. There's been a lot of random things going on in this tournament that were unexpected. Red and I were kind of theorizing how this top 8 was going to work, and we were completely off. But so I'm going to show the bracket right now. This is what we're looking at for our top 8 right now, with our first match being Easy to Win versus Robomaster, Successor versus Vidru, Tortaka versus Kiro is me, and our stream match of the day, our first one, Sleepy Panda versus Kevin LoR. How are we feeling about this?
I think that there's going to be a lot of aggression going on. It looks like Kevin is trying to punish the the Ionia enjoyers with their lineup, which unfortunately for Sleepy, that Heimerdinger Victor might have some trouble dealing with Kevin's lineup.
Yeah. So let's throw it straight into the deck list right now. We'll start with Sleepy Panda. For his first deck, we have Draven Rumble, a very old aggro staple that has been around for a pretty hot minute, but I see a lot of different text in this, which is actually interesting. We have Scrappy's Parts of Palooza, which you don't normally see in a Draven Rumble deck anymore nowadays.
Yeah, very, very interesting. It would be pretty clunky to multi-draw since it summons itself, so that can be kind of an issue, but it does give you a little bit more gas, can make some of those Mecha Yordles a little more threatening. You know, maybe that you know, maybe you get elusive, maybe you get overwhelmed, you know, that's roll the dice, you know, you high roll your low roll.
Yeah. And as you can see now too, there's actually glare in this lineup too.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess, you know, interesting draw. I don't know how much it really does for the deck outside of maybe allowing Fallen Rider through, not a lot of fearsomes. You know, it cycles itself, but you know, maybe can maybe kill a Heimer, an elusive Heimer turret, you know.
Yeah. But moving on to Sleepy Panda's second deck of the day, we have a Mono Shadow Isles deck, and nonetheless it is a Mist Wraith deck.
I mean, they do be fearsome.
Yes, they do be fearsome. This is honestly a very standard list. I don't know if you're able to see this now or not.
The technology has decided to cooperate, so I am able to see it.
So yeah, this is a very standard looking list with our Stygian Onlooker, Arachnoid Horror. We got Phantom Butlers, which have been text for people. Some people are including them, some people aren't. And then you have your standard Risen Mist, Harrowings, Stalking Shadows, Soul Cleaves, just to get as much value out of these Mist Arrays as possible.
I also like the idea of being able to Soul Cleave Skitterer just completely, if not making your opponent unable to block, just making those trades so one-sided for the fearsome stack.
Yeah. Moving on to Sleepy Panda's third and final deck, as you mentioned earlier, we have a Victor Heimer list. Why don't you take us through this one?
Okay, so this looks to be kind of your usual. You know, we've got minimal units, lots of spells. Looks like Sleepy has decided to go a little bit heavier on draw with 3 formula. Also have the usual augmented clocklings. I could definitely see double rocket barrage maybe being a little bit clunky at times, depending on what the opponent's board is. There's a lot of 2 health threatening units out there. But I do love the Blooming Bud Aftershock combo, just so strong. And if you run into Temple or some of these Ionia value landmarks, that Aftershock puts in a lot of work.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now moving on to Kevin's side of the lineup for this week. We are having a little bit of issues with this. 1 second here while I try to fix this.
Well, just to talk about the lineup in general, Kevin is on.
Go.
Oh, well, there we go. Never mind. No more air filling for me.
So starting off, we have Draven Sejuani, another staple of this meta right now. Some people have been opting to go champless, some people have opting just to go for Draven, and some people are taking in 1 or 2 Sejuanis.
One thing that I think is very interesting here, just based on the matchup with the Heimer Victor list, Kevin has included 2 copies of Bone Club, and as there are no explorers in the list, Heimer Victor list, that Bone Club can come down safely.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't see anything too different or out of the norm from this deck. Do you see anything that looks that's catching your eye?
It looks like big go face. I think it's interesting to have 3 copies of Battle Fury. Just the risk of double draw early could I think be disastrous, but it's worked well enough to get Kevin here. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. And moving on to the second deck for Kevin, we also have another Mistwraith deck, and this is a little bit different from Sleepy Punda's list because we have Vengeance instead on this lineup, and we also see Quietus as well.
Yeah, it's one of those things, when you look at a deck list like this that is trying to be aggressive, I've always wondered if putting in those putting in some of those control tools, disrupts you or your opponent more. There are some definitely like high value champions out, and if you're trying to, deal with a Heimerdinger, being able to have something to deal with them quickly and cleanly is pretty valuable. But I can also see hands where you have a more aggressive opponent, and these are just so value negative that you end up just losing by drawing them.
Yeah. And moving on to Kevin's third and final list of the night, we have Akshan Sivir. Ben, this is a blowback from the past.
I can't remember the last time I saw a Ruin Runner doing things. We've got Cataclysm, Ruin Runner. This looks like it. What year is it?
Yeah. Other than just Rune Runner, everything looks kind of standard from the list that I've come to know.
Yeah, a pair of Concerted Strikes, a pair of Deny, the Right in Negation could be huge for dealing with an opponent's harrowing. But yeah, it looks, if you've seen or played Akshan Sivir, this is it. There's a couple challengers, we have Overwhelm and ways to apply that with Cataclysm, but, just pretty normal.
Yeah. And throwing it onto the matchup screen where we can see all 6 decks all at once. What are we thinking for bans here, Shorts?
So I think for Kevin, it's a choice between the Rumble and Fearsomes, because I think all of his decks are aiming to beat the Heimer Victor list. I think that Fearsomes can just be powerful and come down to draws on Harrowing. They can just go off, and the Draven, I don't have as much faith in the Draven Rumble deck. Sometimes it stumbles a little bit. You get awkward draws. So I think I would ban the Draven Rumble on for Kevin. And then looking at from Sleepy's side, looking at Kevin, Fearsomes is just a rough matchup for Heimer Victor. I think that, really looking at what they brought, best bet is probably trying to beat Akshan Sivir twice. I think that Draven Sejuani is probably a little bit more manageable, being able to bounce those big units when they come down. But, yep, and there's the Fearsomes ban.
Yeah,
and double fearsome. We just said no fearsomes, please.
Yeah.
All right.
So right off the bat, we are seeing Draven Rumble versus this Akshan Sivir list. Honestly, on the side of Sleepy Punda, he's got a pretty solid hand.
Yeah, that's I said sometimes it bricks, but sometimes it don't. This looks like a great curve just right into Rumble. There may not be a good way for Kevin to deal with this. I think
Brutal Deathless. I would have thought Brutal Skirmisher just for the extra impact.
My thought is once you get, because Rumble stats are granted to all Rumbles, being able to, if they do remove spells, once they've used their Challenger or remove Spell Shield and then used another spell, they've spent so much. So just being able to respond with a simple burst spell, I think would just be disastrous for Kevin.
That makes sense. And we're opting to get rid of the Might.
Okay, so I guess looking at the hand here, we now have a burst. We have burst speed, overwhelm, a burst speed way to keep our Rumble alive with the discard, as well as the Deathless. So
it's actually very interesting.
So I think, and we know that Kevin is going to have to commit more to this Broadwing to kill. Oh, opting not, just saying, come and get it. I'm bringing damage. This hurts. Oh, that's a tough call on what to take.
I like that salty spinner, but opting to go for the trumpet attacker is actually really interesting.
I guess mana-wise, there's enough to play trumpet attacker this turn, beefing up Rumble another slot. So now when, ooh, interesting. So they will be able to disrupt the swing. And there's two spells. So interesting interaction here for Cataclysm. Cataclysm will pop Spell Shield when it targets Rumble and will still initiate an attack. So that can help provide a clean way to deal with both at the same time, setting up the concerted strike.
Yeah.
Now, what is interesting here is the idea of maybe being able to, maybe Sleepy was considering putting Overwhelm on the Trumpet Attacker to push extra damage, but does not appear to be the case now.
We do see an action flip now. And second Sivir on the board as well.
Ooh.
Things are starting to look up for Kevin at the moment. Like, it's kind of looking neck and neck, but I think Kevin might be able to pull away here very soon.
Mm-hmm. I think that Kevin really has control of the board here, especially with Concerted Strike. And, well, having played the Ruin Runner, now maybe it's just, I'm going to kill you. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Oh man, opting for the Sandstone Charger, just gonna drag the Rumble.
Just gonna push that extra damage now, just to try to get that Sivir to flip as fast as possible.
And there's no way for Panda to stop this Rumble from dying, which makes the rest of his hand a lot worse. Oh, and if he tries to block with Trumpet Attacker, that form up is going to absolutely end the game. And he has to block. There's not a choice here. So honestly, I would prefer to block on the Ruin Runner. Personally, just risking trading the Trumpet Decker for nothing, just
yeah, this is I would agree with you. Trading on the Trumpet or on the Rune Runner is a better play.
Charger? I don't understand this block.
Oh, because it is quick attack now.
Yep. Yeah, there was just enough damage. Can't see the numbers for Sivir.
That's why. That makes so much more sense.
Oh, and now that's brutal. That's a game. Auction Sivir just coming out and showing it still does numbers.
Yeah, it's still relevant.
Okay, so that's one win for Kevin. So now we're going to see whose Draven is best Draven. I think it's still going to be very difficult to get this Heimerdinger Victor through. But I wonder if Sleepy will elect to just rip the Band-Aid off now or get another game on Rumble. No, looks like we're going Draven to Draven.
Yeah, it looks like we're going Draven Rumble against Draven Sejuani. But right at the bat, Sleepy Pundit doesn't have a terrible hand, while I think Kevin has a lot more utility at his disposal right now.
Mm-hmm. I think that this Sejuani is going to do, could do a lot of work. Now, are we going to see float into Bone Club and just say, I have the biggest rear guard on the planet. What are you going to do about it?
You want to do it on the rear guard? I think we just do it on the Saboteur.
Well, just because of mana. Because next turn you'll only have 4 mana now.
Yeah.
I guess patience is a virtue, but yeah, and just play Draven instead. I was really hoping for the giant rear guard play, but that's probably not the best idea.
Yeah, it's going to swing for a lot, but you're not going to be able to really do much with it.
So we're probably going to see, honestly, if given the opportunity, just see Kevin drop the Bone Club on Draven. Ooh, spicy. I mean, we have Kevin has Whirling Death and the pump spell in hand to interact. Oh, committing it first? I think that's a little bit bold. Because now, doing it this way, now you lose your Draven.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it takes one more axe to do it, but now their Draven will level if they so choose. And you lose your Draven. That just, I think that could be the game right there. I mean, Although this Sejuani's not coming down for another 2 turns. It's just...
I
Oh, the Draven doesn't level, that's right.
I understand the purpose behind Kevin doing this, just because he wants to get as much traction as he can possibly go.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that was way too risky to do.
I think that was very aggressive. But looking at what Sleepy has left in hand, I mean, there's the Trumpet Decker, there's also the Fae creating burst spell in hand, so there's some gas there. Curious to see if Bone Club comes out or if it's just gonna stay in the hand. Yadolski. What do you take here? I think it's the team. Oh, yep, and it's the team maker.
Yeah, the team maker makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, just getting more blockers. I think just with where the life totals are at currently, Kevin, I think, has a huge advantage.
Oh yeah, I would wholeheartedly agree with you on that one.
Now, what's going to be interesting is next turn, if Sejuani's going to come out, or save that for a turn so Kevin can get the value out of the vulnerable. A little bit of time in the tank.
And trying to figure out what he wants to do, and opts to throw in the Trumpet Decker immediately.
Maybe just saying, I don't have time to set up. Getting Challenger and +1 and Spirit, or +1/+1 on that Trumpet Decker.
Yeah, very insane. And this is just going to get met by a Sejuani here.
Yep, I think that's probably the answer. I could also see it being Bone Club. Yep, there we go. Just saying, hey, if you want to trade. But there is that fragment in hand. Depending on if that's quick attack or +2. Oh, just
I think that's overwhelm.
Overwhelm. Oh yeah, and here comes the Sejuani. Just absolutely brutal. Come on, Conch. Oh, yeah, it's got to be low.
Wallop is such a huge pick right now. Just be able to save this Trumpet Decker.
Oh, absolutely. Now, if I'm Kevin, and Kevin is me, I would think about Whirling Death right now. Just slam the door shut. And it looks like, no, I think you have to go Whirling Death, yep, from the Saboteur. Okay, opting to kill the Sejuani in response. I mean, at 16 life, if I'm Kevin, I'm feeling pretty good about this match right now. Big Bird, or I suppose just Bigger Bird coming down. Ooh, and a big Ballista.
The fact that Sleepy Panda is having a rough time finding a rumble right now is extremely backbreaking, I can assume.
Yeah, I think really that'd be the only way back. And even then, if they draw the Rumble now, there's not enough in the hand to really get him over the edge. Kevin's just at too high of a life total. And just everything on his side is just a little bit too big.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like if I'm Kevin, I don't know if I even block here. It was quick attack. Yeah, I think I'm just taking 8. I don't. Let's see. I don't know if because I guess forcing your opponent to discard their last card is the thought here.
Yeah. Just kind of throwing it all out on the table, saying if you want this, you have to commit for this.
Yep. And I guess the other benefit is too, you can't jump with the conch held back. You know, now Kevin can move the Bone Club over the Overwhelm unit, which makes it a lot more threatening, making this a 10-4. Oh, okay. Well, we have 12 mana. I think the answer is we are Battle Fury Gaming. Rico Rex would be proud. Yep, and that just seals it right there. Are there any answers that... that's not going to do it. So just for exact... Just showing the rest of the hand. No answers left. And Kevin, in pretty quick fashion, is moving on to the semifinals.
Yeah. Very interesting set of games so far.
Very.
I'm excited to see what else we have in store for us today, honestly.
Yeah, it seems to be that there are some unique lists. I'm very happy to see a throwback deck perform well. Akshan Silver hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah. So with that, unfortunately, Sleepy Panda does get eliminated and Kevin LoR does go on into the next match. We have our bracket updated at the moment. Next up, we have Easy to Win versus Vidru and Kiro Uzmi versus Kevin. We will be following the Kiro Uzmi versus Kevin matchup. But in the meantime, we are going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be back shortly. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Aegis Esports March monthly tournament. I'm still Hirsch. That's still Swartz. Swartz, why don't you give us a quick recap of what we just witnessed last match?
We saw a 2-0 victory for Kevin over Sleepy Punda. We saw Akshan Siver making a return, a blast from the past, doing mid-rangey things with Ruin Runner, closing out the game with Cataclysm. Then in the second game, we had a Dravenov. Draven's favorite opponent is still Draven. And we saw Battle Fury Gaming making Rico Rex proud to close that one out. Just got bigger, and unfortunately Rumble didn't show up to the party. It makes Draven Rumble a little bit weaker.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. And throwing it back to our bracket screen so we can see what's going on. Once again, we have Easy to Win versus Vidra this match, and we have Kiro is me versus Kevin LoR. We will be spectating Kiro is me and Kevin LoR for this round. So one of these guys is going off to the finals. The other guy is going straight to third place matchup.
Right.
So going quickly back over Kevin's decks one more time, we have Akshan Siver, very standard list with the inclusion of Ruin Runner right now. Going on to his second deck, we have Mistress with a little bit of a different tech cards like Vengeance. We didn't get to see this deck last match. It's running Glare. We see Quietus as well and Glimpse as well on top of that. And for the third and final deck, we have Draven Sejuani, the deck that we saw that went all the way with Battle Fury Gaming. And moving on to Kiro is me's lineup. Sorry, we are once again having technical difficulties. Give me 1 second and I'll fix this.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. First off, we have Nyla Jana. Why don't you take us through this one?
Okay, so it looks like Kiro's Me has opted to run Sunken Temple and Ruined Rex. I really like these cards if you're going to run them together. Rex can be a little bit awkward to play mana-wise, and just ensuring that you get enough draw. But Temple says, what if we made everything cheaper? It's great draw engine value. I agree that, running just one or two is probably the best, with as much Aftershock as running around. Otherwise, not a lot of top end outside of that. Exalted Clownwinder, the usual core of the deck. It's Jen and Neela. It draws cards, it goes fast.
Yeah, and moving on to the second deck of the day, we have Jace Lux, another deck that has been popping up fairly recently in Aegis as well. Nothing too out of the ordinary with this deck list that I see. Is there anything out of the ordinary you see?
No, sir. A couple Albus Pharos. I've seen varying numbers of Albus. I think that having one or two for your top end is great. As many 6-cost spells as you play, being able to swing a unit that says, hey, I'm going to ping 6 to your face to start, and then how about you block me?
Yeah. And moving on to the third and final deck for Kiro is me, we have Victor Heimerdinger.
Ooh, a temple in my Heimerdinger?
How do you feel about that one?
I think I hate it. So not to be just to jump onto hating on the deck text, but I think that one of the values of formula in some of these cards is based on knowing the turret that you are going to create. Sunken Temple does create awesome value for you, pulling a lot of these through. But being able to create elusive turrets, quick attack turrets, knowing what you're going to have available to you as outs, I think is very valuable. I just don't think... I think it also competes with Heimer for space on like turn 5 or 6. Can create some awkward situations, I think, for you. I'm just not a big fan, but we'll see if Temple ends up being valuable or if it maybe sinks them.
Yeah. And moving on to the matchup where we see all 6 decks all at once. What are we thinking for bans here?
I think that Kevin is ecstatic to see another Heimerdinger lineup. I think that the choice ban is probably Jananila. It can just be so explosive, go so fast. Whereas with some of these other decks, JSLX may move a little bit more slowly. If they don't find their champions quickly enough, they can just kind of putter out. Those 6 mana spells don't do nearly as much without a Jace or a Lux on the field. So I think that it would be a Jen and Isla ban on that side. Now, looking at King Norse decks, I think Fearsomes has to go. I think it is going to... We saw it in round 1. I bet we see it again. Fearsomes is going to get banned, especially with those Vengeances. Gonna find Lux. Oh, Akshan Silver instead. All right. Well, you know what? The players have said, we don't care what you think, Schwartz. We do what we want. And we'll see how that works out for them.
And right off the bat, we are seeing Jan and Isla versus Mistfrits.
All right. Spicy. I love Pool Shark Miriam. Oh my god. What a hand for Caro is me.
Yeah.
This is a Pool Shark Miriam and a free Mariner. A free Marinera. Okay, let's see. So opting to maybe play Pool Shark on turn 2, getting the extra damage now, and getting the extra power available once the draws are made. Looking at Kevin's hand, seems a little bit more awkward. A lot of higher cost units. I think this glare, depending on, I think this glare could be pretty nice here, just to keep the deckhand from becoming a 3/2 brash. It's too late for that.
Yeah. Developing 2 fearsome blockers now. Now we're just going to use the glare to make it 1, get rid of this Windborn Mariner.
Now, if you're Karasmi, are you going to use the Mystic Shot here to kill this fearsome unit, or are you just going to say, hey, do you want to trade?
I'm going to say, hey, do you want to trade? The fact that Kevin just ignored that that trade is like, I feel like you take out this Master Lookout easily, right?
Yeah, I mean.
Oh wait. Yeah, we could have traded our lease for the Master Lookout.
Opting to get rid of the Neela. Interesting. I guess the thought is it's their only fearsome blocker, and they're likely going to throw it under the bus to your release on the next turn anyways. Yeah, I think you have to get rid of that Elise. Just cleaning up as much as you can. I think it's going to be very awkward to get this Nocturne out with Nightfall anytime soon. Ooh, I do love a 1-cost Mystic Shot. Got a lot of draw in the hand here, and also those buff spells, making it possible to block fearsomes. Oh my goodness, what a draw. See, and this is the thing about Jen and Neela, they just draw so many cards. Just such a powerful deck.
Yeah, this Vikrash is going to put in a lot of work here. Yeah.
Now, interesting play. could have potentially been done on the next turn with full spell mana for Kevin LoR is Mistwraith burst summon into Nocturne, but maybe opting, okay, well, Druin out, have the, or maybe just saying, I don't care about that at all. I'm going to push a bunch of damage right now. Is it ever the draw spell into Whirlwind so that you can still effectively block 2? Or do we need this elusive to push our way through?
I think the elusive is going to push our way through once. This Janna's very close to leveling up here.
Mm-hmm.
So this Eye of the Storm. Oh, never mind. That plan is.
I guess opting to save the Neela. Ooh, and a Slipstream.
So now with this line, it's now going to work out in our benefit because this Nyla is going to push a lot more damage for us as well.
I gotcha. Further discounted. Yeah, and now it just makes it impossible for the for her to be blocked. Do a little drawing. Oh, and a ruined Rex. That's so dirty.
So we just open with the Nyla and the Vikrash right now.
I was liking dropping the Rex and see what happens. Now, I do think that this means that the opponent needs to die this turn.
Yes, which is very doable. With that free Nyla spell in hand, she can just cruise right through. She can cruise right through with just the open. She doesn't even need the spell.
True. Oh yeah, just the leveled ability, doing 2 to face. I like just sending away the spell then for I would have preferred to just get rid of the Nyla spell, honest.
Yeah.
Like having the extra burn in hand, I think would have been a little nicer, but
I think this is still lethal.
Let's see. We've got 4 damage for sure, 5 damage for sure. 6, yeah, that should be it. Although, because if Nocturne stays alive, the spell, the Nightfall spell in hand, will keep Kevin LoR alive through the Mystic Shot.
No, this is just lethal regardless. Because Nocturne can't block the Nyla.
Oh, we have the mana right now for it. I was sorry, I was one off. Yeah, no, that's just it. It's just game.
Wow. What an insane matchup.
I'm telling you, Jen and Nyla just go so fast. And just let them know, no, you don't get to keep that.
No tomfoolery here.
No fool tommery. Yeah, and we're just going to see the Mystic Shot come out and close this match out. Exacxies.
Wow. What an insane matchup.
I mean, and I think really what it comes down to is those awkward draws for Fearsomes. Having multiple copies of Nocturne in hand and having 4, 3 or 4 cost, and then harrowing. Just everyone just got to the party a little bit too early.
Yes.
So I think this is going to be the more difficult part for Karo's me, getting this Heimer Victor through.
Already off the
and I'm not loving this hand.
Yeah, luckily this is pre-mull on both sides.
That's a little bit better.
It's still not great.
Yeah. Not exactly what you were wanting to see.
Yeah.
And I really do think that this rocket barrage is difficult to use appropriately, just because they can have so many small units that are just one power too big.
We do see on the other side of the bracket, Easy to Win 2-0ing Vidru. So the winner of this match goes up against Easy to Win in the finals.
I wonder if Karasmi is considering using... Yeah, just trying to be mana efficient, getting the cards, having the extra formula in hand, just saving a little life. Oh, there we go. It's a great card right there. Just slap down a ballistic bot and off to the races.
Gonna get met by a Quietus.
That's a little rough.
Yeah, this is a little backbreaking.
Oh, and just having the... I am surprised to not see an immediate Mystic shot on this Mist Wraith.
I am as well.
Because now there will be 2 copies. Oh, this board is getting pretty scary.
Yeah, this is going to be a really huge swing because we're going to play another Mist Wraith and then we're going to I forget what the name, Soulcleave. Not Soulcleave.
Yeah,
Soulcleave
on this Heimerdinger is going to be pretty rough to deal with. Although they will be able to sleep him and create... Oh, they're opting for the Soulcleave. Okay. They will get the additional, but it is much easier to deal with. Interesting.
Iron Conquest.
And now the swing isn't even good.
Yeah, no.
Being able to get down the Heimer and just slap, having the spells to be able to string together multiple 3-cost spells to get out those fearsome blockers is huge. And now we're just gonna, I think now Heimer's just gonna go to the races. I think we'll see this glare on the elusive turret, but the value engine is here and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. So we're going to see a nice flash of brilliance giving us another fearsome turret here.
So it'll be interesting next turn. I think it'll end up being...
Oh my god, we got a second Poggers Day.
God. It's going to be a little... This is going to be a little bit difficult to deal with, I think, for Kevin. Having the bounce spell in hand, having deny, this is just locked up in my opinion. I don't think there's any effective way for, and the rocket barrage coming down just...
Are we looking at playing second rocket barrage here just to kind of clear this whole board? But no, there's not going to be enough time because Kevin's not going to give him a second opportunity.
And I think the real answer is this is just going to be a simple Mystic shot.
Yeah.
I imagine that we'll see the response with Glimpse from Kevin, just to refill the hand. The real problem is that this Harrowing can never be played.
Because there's Deny on the other hand.
Mm-hmm. Now, what'll be interesting is if he attempts to... Well, he won't even be able to do it this turn, but if there's an attempt to Soulcleave this Heimer, I think it's going right back to hand. Well, never mind. I guess next turn. It's 3 mana to kill a champion.
Yeah, it's 3 mana to kill a champion.
Are there 2 copies of Harrowing in Kevin's deck?
So we opted to bought the Iron Conquest early, and now we don't have another unit. We just wasted a unit.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is honestly looking pretty doomed.
Soul Harvest attempting to hit the Heimerdinger is just gonna get met by Gruesome Theater. Or not Gruesome Theater, I'm sorry.
Unworthy Soul.
Unworthy Soul, yes.
Yeah, I think it's a simple bounce. You know, sure, don't get his the other value off, but I mean, now the real question is how many cards are in hand? 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 9. So that would still leave room for Heimer and the turret, so nothing gets burned.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think that, I just, maybe there's something that I don't know, but I think that saving Heimer, creating another turret seemed pretty good to me.
I think Hero is saying that he's gotten his value out of the Heimerdinger and that he can win with this board.
This seems a little conservative, honestly. Maybe just, just giving Kevin, I think, too much time. But I guess patience, patience is the Ionian way. If we didn't use at least 20 minutes in this match, would it really be an Ionia game?
True. You are right.
I mean, yeah, it's just got to rip it. If they have the deny, you just lose. But you can't wait. Yeah, that's game. Heimer came down, there wasn't an answer, and game's over.
So Kiro is me taking this match 2-0, going up against easy to win next round here. That's crazy. So just throwing it to the bracket screen real quick, I just wanted to show this off. We've only had 2-2-1s. Every other match has been 2-0.
Interesting. Just dominant performances.
Yeah. So with that, we will throw it to a quick break while we set up for our last match of the night, which is easy to win versus Kiro is me. Sit tight. You don't want to miss this last match. Welcome back, everybody. Aegis Esports March monthly tournament. I'm Hirsch. That's still Schwartz. I hope it is. Otherwise, we're going to have issues here. Schwartz, give us a quick recap of what we just witnessed last match.
All right, winding it back, looking through the memory banks, we saw Fearsome's fall to Heimer Victor, which I thought was going to be very positive for them, but Heimerdinger just came down and just was cranking out turrets. And just created an impenetrable wall. And there was just too much removal, honestly, in the early game for a meaningful board presence to be developed. And of course, the deny on the heroine kind of just shut the door there. And in the other game, we saw something happen, and my brain is completely falling to pieces. Janna Nyla, that's right.
Yes.
Just came out swinging, drew all the cards, did all the burn, and opponent died.
Yes. And just to flash the bracket one more time so we can see the journey that everybody has come to where they are at right now. Easy to win versus Kiro is me. Easy to win, 2-1-ing against Robomaster, then 2-1-ing against 2-0-ing against Vidru, and Kiro is me, 2-1-ing Toritaka, and then coming out in 2-0-ing Kevin LoR. Honestly, looking at this bracket, do you think, is this what you imagined this bracket was going to be?
I mean, it's in the name. It's easy to win, so really not surprised. Just obviously Robomaster, known player, very good, but easy to win, has been here before. The bottom half of the bracket, I couldn't have called. I'd be lying to you if I would have told you that I would have called Kira's me battling back from the lower seed to take it to the finals. But all you need is a chip and a chair.
Yes. So with that, let us get right on into the decks. We'll go over Kiro is me's decks real quick here, just so we can get this match going. We had Victor Heimerdinger, which we saw take a commanding win. We didn't see the Sunken Temple that you so dearly love in this deck.
We saw it sit in hand, is what we saw.
Yes. Moving on to the second deck, we saw Jace Lux, which we did not get to see the last match because it was taken away. But maybe we will be able to see this deck in action. And third and final, we saw the commanding lead that this Janna Nyla was able to get with such an explosive lead. Now, moving on to Easy to Win's lineup for today, we have Morgana Udyr. Why don't you take us through this one?
A meme deck coming full circle to meta relevance. I think that the cornerstone of the deck really being that Bladebound Berserker, doubling spells good, especially magical fettering, being able to stack up those silence curses in the opponent's hand. We see a Darken Spear in this list, maybe hoping to drop an Anaka and summon big things. Otherwise, looks like the usual things. We've got, best friends, bird and dog to make everything big.
Every time I see an Anaka or I see a Darken Spear in a list, I get really sad because it's just one and we don't get to see the cool thing that is pulling Anaka into Anaka.
You haven't lived until you've Anaka.
Yes. Moving on to the second deck of the night, we have a Bilgewater Piltover deck, and what do you know? It's Nyla Janna, but without Temple, so it's a more aggressive version of the deck.
We do have a couple copies of Aftershock here, which I think is good to bring if you aren't playing Explorers. So if your opponent decides that they want to play Temple, you say no.
Yes. But other than that, no real differences between the lists here, except for we have Eager Dedicant in this list.
Yeah, interesting choice. We'll see how that works out for him.
Moving on to the third and final deck of the night, we have Heimerdinger Victor, but without Temple.
I think this is, just at early glance, I think that this is a little bit better. Having multiple Aftershock, when your opponent has 3 Aftershocks, Piltover Tellstones, and Unworthy Soul, that temple is never sticking. Like that, and without a way to discard it or make use of it otherwise, if Karo's Me draws that early, that card is going to rot in their hand.
Yeah. And moving on to the matchup screen where we can see all 6 decks all at once. What are we thinking for bans here?
Jananila. I'm seeing a double Jananila ban if I just think it's just so fast, so explosive. Like, I want it gone. I have trauma associated with this deck.
All right, so what if I told you you're half right?
I mean, I could see a Lux ban as well.
So,
and now I'm none right.
So it is Jananila on the side of Kiro is me getting banned. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I have misspoken. I'm baiting everyone. It's actually Heimerdinger.
Okay. Interesting.
But on the side of Kiro, we do ban Jananila.
I think it's a smart ban. Yeah. And honestly, like, Heimerdinger Jace is just Heimerdinger Victor is just a strong deck, so I could see wanting to ban it, maybe feeling not as confident in the mirror, or just feeling that you have a better chance than the other decks. I think Jananila is gonna do disgusting things again, but that's just me.
I see you also have PTSD as well from Heimerdinger Jace.
Yes.
I hope we never see that deck ever again. It is probably the most longest running meta staple deck in the history of lore, in my opinion.
Gosh, I feel like ever since they came out, they were at every single seasonal.
Yes.
Just
at least someone was bringing it for every single seasonal.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes when it wasn't that good, but you know, all right. Looking at these hands, is there anything you wouldn't kick from the Jananila?
Everything. Everything.
Excellent. That is also what I think. And this hand isn't that much better.
Yeah, it looks pretty much the exact same.
It looks like, this. But, yeah, and this dog is going to come down, and it is welcome to Value Town.
On the side of easy to win, we have an immaculate start right now.
Just especially like having the stances to be able to get Bladebound Berserker rolling. When the deck does things. Oh, and Troll Chain coming out.
I don't see a reason why not. Just to kind of say, hey, if you really want this dog, burn it.
Mm-hmm.
We see Volpine Wanderer come out just to get one stance going for us right now.
I think it might also I think Vic Crash is probably the right choice here. It'll be interesting to see not enough mana to play Bladebound Berserker but I think
opting for
Bjerg is good.
Yeah, opting for the Babbling Bjerg, which is a 4/5, mind you.
The big boy.
That is a big boy.
I think I also wouldn't have minded seeing the blocking Badger Bear come out to be able to, but I guess the mana is still good for next turn playing the Bladebound Berserker and a stance swap.
Yeah. Opting not to block, taking 4 damage. Starting to get something going for us on the side of Kiro is me.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you can never count deck out. That's an awkward draw. I think you might have to send that. Let's see. I mean, it is big boy. I mean,
opting to take the swing because I think Kiro is actually looking to try to get as much value out of this Rune Rex as possible here.
Interesting. Playing the Udyr, making the stance swap free. Is Rex enough?
I don't think Rex is enough to take off both these 5 health units, but it will still put some nice damage on top of it.
Yeah, and 2 of those shots both going at Vulpine Wanderer is a little bit tough.
Yeah.
I think what's going to be really difficult to deal with is next turn when the Berserker comes down and these stand swaps start going. Oh, that's greedy.
Yeah. Now this 6 shot is just going to come out and punish this and now put Kiro is me back in. Actually, no.
Troll Champ had the backup.
So this Udyr is sticking around, and this Blade-Bound Berserker is going to get a ton of value here in the near future.
Not enough mana this turn to play the Blade-Bound Berserker, although if Easy to Win wanted to, they could swing with Udyr and play the 2-cost burst to create a stand swap in hand before he strikes to make it free. Could also play Vulpine Wanderer and then get a free stand swap to play with Berserker, Blade-Bound Berserker. Three.
This might be a bit dangerous because this Udyr will have an opportunity to get taken off the board this turn if not played carefully.
I think Kara's Me is going to have to play cautiously. I think you play out your Miriam next and hope that they commit the Blade-Bound Berserker to the board.
Oh, that changes everything.
Yeah, that. So now I think you can play the. I was gonna say you can play the Tempest, and likely, yeah, they play the. I think you play the Gale, and so you can respond with Tempest. But now he can just troll chant and put a stance on Udyr, and he won't die.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Or just opting to go for the Inner Beast right now.
So 3, it will still die to this Gale. It should be dealing 4. 5, actually. But I think could have saved. Oh, never mind. There's another Howling Gale. The game says, "What do you know, General?" Nothing. Having 2 Blade-Bound Berserkers in hand is a little scary. Oh, and it's already a 4/5. Oh my god. Why is it so big?
All because of Yadulski Snowdog.
That is going to be a real bear to deal with.
Yes. So I do like playing this Petricide Broadwing and just passing here. I don't like playing the stance right now.
Yeah, there's more. I mean, playing it next turn with both Berserkers on board, although you would risk losing the Broadwing, you could just, there's so much value.
Yeah, like, I think we're at a spot where we can just value how much value we're able to put out.
Mm-hmm. Although now this is a pretty safe play for this second. You've got all the backup in the world in your hand.
Yeah.
And with the Gentleman's Duel in hand too, like it's going to be pretty easy to clear. Oh, so probably not a good idea, but a funny idea would be Ram Stance and just clear Karasmi's board.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I think that is a fantastic idea, honestly.
I don't know if I like regeneration here, although I guess it just makes it to where they're never going to die, but I don't like to give Jan and Neela time to do things. And this is the last stance swap in hand as well. I really think that Boar Stance would have made it to where opponent had to block, but or at least going for Overwhelm, I think would have been solid as well.
Yeah.
What is there? Janna looks like she's close to leveling. Probably one card off now. One or two.
Janna is at 7.
Yeah. The glowing arrows tell all. Just awkward mana. I have one more mana and could level Janna. But no more responses in hand either, so Gentleman's Duel, yeah. I think this will be a pool shark coming out. Yeah, I mean, the awkward thing is, with as tall as these Bladebound Berserkers are now, your units are really never getting through again.
Yeah.
Unless you are all the way wide.
I unfortunately think that we're just out of options on the side of Kiro as me.
Yeah, that's just not what you wanted to see here. Although, they're not pushing enough damage, but the Blocking Badger Bear in hand just really shuts down any chance to sneak through damage with this Vic Crash.
Yeah.
And I think that blocking Brash is not going to be an issue for Easy to Win. Just buying time.
Yeah, do we just take this, or do we just send out Troltan and kind of just like say I'm putting as much pressure on this board as possible?
I think you're not doing anything else, but I don't know if it gains you enough. I don't know if I don't think it's particularly meaningful either way. It's just such a dominant position for Easy to Win. Having another challenger on the board, effectively adding 2 more challengers to the board is very good. You may just still take landmark removal just in case, or since Karo's Me is running Temple, but opting for the health instead. Probably see that on the damaged Broadwing, just to keep it healthy. Let it keep it around.
Man, this is such a rough matchup for Kiro as me right now.
Yeah, Easy to Win got the cards that they needed early, and Karo's Me had such an awkward start. And even after getting all the draw with Janna, just did not find meaningful cards. Also didn't help that every time that they tried to answer Easy to Win had the Troll Chant in hand, had the Gentleman Duel, just had everything in hand. And that Mariner is just not going to do it.
We do see Easy to Win taking away the first match out of this best of 3.
BBB is tough to beat.
Yeah.
So if you're Karo's me, do you go with Jace Lux, or do you go for the palette, or do you go for Jen and Neela and just, get right and get aggressive?
Well, the answer is plain and simple. We go for the palette cleanser and play Jace Lux.
Yep. I think that's always awkward playing, a six cost spell deck, against Ionia, is you never know when that it's going to get canceled. Though the good thing is, deny can only deny one thing. So we can stick a if Karo can stick a Jace, double Shock Blast, pretty good.
What is this hand from Easy to Win?
Burn. The answer is burn. Hirsch, I think these bots are gonna go ballistic.
You know what? I'm inclined to believe you. I am inclined to believe you, sir. But on the side of Karo... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I do think that these bots are gonna get very dangerous very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, true shot. I think Karo's Me is set up for a lot of value in hand.
Oh, yeah. We have 4 6-cost spells in hand.
I really like Easy letting the ignition get burned last turn to be able to have comfortable mana to play down another ballistic bot or play the Victor and play both ignitions this turn. Such just a clean answer for these bots.
Gonna see the Shock Blast coming in to take out some of these 2 ballistic bots that we weren't able to really get a ton of value out of so far.
I will say, with no fast speed answers in hand, I think it's a tough sell on having this, because this Victor's just going to get eaten alive. I think I would have preferred the ballistic bot into Aftershock and then just shooting them in the face a bunch. But Heimer coming to hand? Yep. 4-mana Heimer, pretty good.
True.
Unfortunately, with this Lux in hand coming up on 6 mana, Formula is going to do some work. That Heimerdinger is not going to be long for this world.
But now it is.
Yep. Hey, the deck knew what Easy needed.
Going to attempt to remove the Lux by playing double Aftershock here. Ooh.
Yeah. Things are going to get pretty tough here for
Easy to Win, yeah.
For Easy to Win pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Lasers.
Hitting that Pharaohs is a little rough.
Yeah, because you can throw down Pharaohs and immediately have you have mana for the strike spell, or you can just save Lux right now. Now, if you're Karos me, like, oh, I'm very tempted to just throw down Albus
Yeah.
and say, let's go to work. But I think really long term, like, what's going to
You just go
what's going to win
Rising
you the
Light,
game is
right?
the value for locks and just being able to shoot lasers over and over again.
Really, we don't opt for Rising Light. I feel like Rising Light would have been really good.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I guess burn. I mean, maybe they're doing the math and they're saying, "Hey, this is another burn spell," and then can make Albus just lethal on the stack. Because so far this game, Karos Mead's played a Shock Blast, a Formula, Shock Blast, and a Formula, so that's 2x. And then next turn could play, or another Shock Blast. But I think interesting. So I think the answer here now is to play, or Shock Blast. I was thinking Rising Spell Force or Mystic Barrage, so that you could get the turret, one ping of burn. Not the answer that Karos me wanted.
I think it's still fine. That's because Alvis is gonna hit like a truck next turn.
Oh, Albus is going to be huge. Very interesting. I mean, I guess the mana doesn't matter. It's going to get burned. Oh, imagine. Okay, so I was going to say, I guess there are answers in the hand for Karos me, but I was just trying to think of they play Albus and it gets Piltover Tailstone's transmogged into nothing. Just into a turret. Forcing out the spells now.
Ooh, going for a progress day.
Let's see. No, I'm curious if. Oh wow, and just draw. But no mana left. But a. I'm gonna be honest. I think Karos me is dead. This Albus is going to do so much damage, and having the form up in hand to ensure that it trades favorably, he's not even risking it. Unless Izuwen can draw a deny, they're just dead on open next turn.
Yeah.
It's going to be I think it's going to be very difficult for them to survive long enough and get enough value to live through 2 burn spells. They also have to kill Karos me this turn, or the Albus trigger at the start of the next turn is just going to kill them. And honestly, with the Mystic Shot backup, this game is over.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So just thinking, if you don't have this knowledge on the side of, I think you have to play Victor. Like if you're easy to win, hope for enough value, be able to pump this Victor to million damage, maybe roll elusive. I mean, and now with Jace, it's just Jover.
Yeah. You just play the R6 cut spell and just Send it in.
Yep, it's there's no available life gain, and with only enough mana for one deny, like just kind of ends it. Interesting. So gonna go do a game 3.
Yeah. Heroes me quickly going through the deck list just to kind of make sure that there's nothing that can really stop this.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, Rite of Negation is not available for easy to win to play here.
So Nyla Jana versus Heimerdinger Victor. How are we thinking about that?
Well, I thought it I thought it was gonna be good. I think it'll very much depend on if Heimerdinger Victor can get Heimer down and start cranking out units to block out early enough to not be in range of the burn for Jen and Nyla. Jen and Nyla, I think, needs to have a fast start and keep the pedal down until the enemy nexus explodes. Because if they give them a little bit of breathing room, that big Victor can come out and just kind of or Heimerdinger can come out and just shut the game down.
Yeah, what a hand to do that with.
Oh, I really like the hand for easy to win. Not so much for Karo's me. I think it's fine. I think it's really dangerous to try and play Neela on this next turn. Honestly, they're probably gonna, if I'm Karo, until they drop below. Okay, Ballistic Bot. Yeah, I think that's got to go right now. Looking ahead to the next turn, I think for Karo, it's probably going to be Pool Shark into Neela. And then for easy to win, may see Tellstones, Aftershock, or just another Ballistic Bot. Oh, opting to go for the Neela first. Now Neela's. Ooh. Okay. Getting a little bit more aggressive, trying to keep that value off the board, keep Victor from leveling up as quickly. And just, I imagine, just knowing that Nile is probably not long for this world. Let's see. And off to the keyword casino we go. Where does it stop?
No one knows.
I'm calling it Impact.
I'm saying tough.
Oh, and Challenger. Oh, wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, now we just need regen.
Yep. And I think this Nyla's gonna die.
This is Victor saying, see you later, Nyligator.
Yep. I mean, just to avoid giving them the value, getting any more slipstreams in the deck, is really, I think that's like where Jen and Nyla is going to be able to claw their way back in, is just with all the value from being able to draw half the deck in a turn. And the good thing is, if Karo tries to commit something to kill the Victor, can just sleep it, have Twin Discipline in hand. There are options. Probably see a Mystic Shot on the Vic Crash here. Or not.
Going back to the keyword casino.
Although, honestly, I don't know what we're... if we're easy to win, I don't know what the rest of our turn looks like if we're not Mystic Shotting that. Can play Forge Chief and have, I guess, just maybe the thought is to just have as many answers up as possible if there's double Mystic Shot. Or Gale Mystic. Okay, and we draw on. I think I would have, depending on like what the count is at, I might have liked to have seen an attempt to Gale the victor, but ooh, 2 slipstreams in hand. But the value engine on the other side is looking pretty scary to me.
So do we just play the Jaina and just shuffle back in the slipstreams?
I was thinking you could play a slipstream after you play Jaina. Oh, well, that also works too. But I do really want to play this Jaina this turn. Little bonus blocker. You know, get ourselves a little 0-1 turret with Challenger. Yeah, I think it's going to be depending on how the opponent wants to swing, or if they choose to swing at all. That's the awkward thing, is this Jaina is fleeting, and their victor has Challenger and Tough now. Hey, we got both the keywords we talked about, and we got them, you know, Mind Kim first. So, obviously the better call, but, you know, unfortunately we're going to lose this Jaina, but... And is that a wings?
Oh, that's nope. A malmutation. That's actually not bad for this board state.
I don't think I've ever seen that card played, to be honest.
I've seen it played a couple times. I don't remember exactly what the text on it says, though.
This is, I mean, it unfortunate, but I think, you know, I had to play the Jaina there. Letting it be burned from the hand, you know, we need the extra, Caro needs the extra draws. And, ooh, Anila makes things interesting.
So, Malmutation says pick an allied follower, summon 2 hungry owl cats, then transform allies into exact copies of a chosen ally.
Interesting.
So you can get a elusive turret and transform our whole board into elusive turrets.
Yeah, seems good. Couple of Mystic Shots and him just easy to win, just has so many answers right now. We'll see what Victor gets out of this. You know, if they really wanted to, could also make a whole board of 0-1 challengers. That seems good.
A whole board of 0-1 challengers.
Yep. Oh, and Victor, gosh, Victor getting Deathless here is just kind of brutal.
Yeah.
Now, oh, yeah, this Neela's not going to be around much longer. One play could make is to play Vic Crash and then the draw, but would have to overwrite something. I think it would be worthwhile because this, honestly, like several of these units are just never getting in anyways. And that should level Victor. I think Heimer is pretty far off. Oh, yeah, and I think that honestly is going to kind of slam this one shut. It's easy to win being at 11 health at this point, just and having both champions on board, threatening to level, like, I think that just kind of ends it. Interesting thing is now that Victor's leveled, won't have to pay the basically deleting the extra cost penalty with Piltover Tellstones. You know, cost 1 to select, but all of those spells will be discounted by 1. So,
Yeah.
Should they choose, and I think they should, could go ahead and delete this Neela from existence. Oh, opting to burn the mana instead.
If we hit lifesteal or there it is.
Yep.
That's the nail in the coffin.
I could actually kill it with Gale. Play the draw spell and Gale, and still kill the Victor, and it'll be stunned this turn. Yeah, that Howling Gale. I think you just have to rip it. I mean, if they have it, they have it, but you cannot let this Victor connect.
Yeah, no.
And for once, are we gonna look for the draw? Yep.
Oh, actually, that does nothing for us. Getting a deny there, though, would be really nice.
I deny. I don't know if there's another Twin Disciplines left in the deck. Couple of answers could have had, but at the end of the day, Victor having Deathless, you know, and Lifesteal again.
But only 4 power this time.
Now here's the part where Rex gets awkward. Without Temple, which with Unworthy Soul in hand, Temple's never going to stay around, but without Temple, Rex really just has trouble delivering enough value to be worth playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially on the next turn. No burst draw spells in hand. Maybe a Slipstream comes through. But at the same time, Heimerdinger's just going to keep on refilling this board. I hate to count out Carol here, but I think the writing's on the wall.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It's just kind of figuring out how to get to that finish line for easy to win.
So got 7 damage available at the moment, but with Unworthy Soul in hand, it's Animistic Shot. Like, neither Neela and Vikrash are never connecting here. Yeah, I mean, and even just recommitting it. Although, I think I would have preferred to hold on to that and interesting. But Easy to Win still has a sleep in hand. And this is one of the things that I dislike about, discounting spells. There's no way to make an elusive turret here. Not that it necessarily matters as much, but, elusive turret ends the game on the spot. Versus kind of in an awkward spot with just having quick attack turrets that can be chomped. Let's see. Can Caro survive one more turn? I think the recipe for success is playing Janna. Gotcha. And then being able to play Rex at the start of the next turn. Is still at a reasonably healthy life total. 12, although the drag turrets do make things awkward.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I would have kept Rex. Why are we keeping the monkey? I think you should have sent away the monkey, kept Rex and Mystic Shot, because then Mystic Shot can kill a unit on the stack to keep your health higher. And if they give you an action, you can play Rex. Oh, okay, you know what? Sometimes you're just a gamer and your one-of Rex comes back to you. It just knew that you needed it.
We just full swing. Is this lethal?
It looks like a lot of damage. So blocking the three most powerful, there's still 7, 10, 13. Yeah, 13 power on the board. And with the twin disciplines in hand to back up, like I think the open swing is the right way. Because giving Caro a chance to play Rex, yeah. I think you swing with Heimer too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you're going to get enough value from him. Like, you can just end the game right here. Because you have twin disciplines for backup. Like, yeah, there we go. Because now you're presenting oodles. You're presenting lethal. Yeah, exact lethal as is. And now you can just play twin disciplines in the game.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to Easy to Win for winning this March monthly tournament. What a weird set of events today, honestly.
But it was certainly interesting, and man, just everybody's doing their math so well today, ending on an exact lethal several times. But yeah, I mean, even into like a matchup that I would figure would be a little bit difficult, Heimer Victor just pumping out enough value in turrets to say you shall not pass.
Yeah.
What a series.
Yeah. So, for those of you that just tuned in, for the people that just tuned in, Shorts, why don't you give us a quick recap of what we just witnessed this entire set?
Well, we saw the Morgana Udyr deck get big with Berserkers and just create an unpassable wall of value. Then we saw Jace Lux swinging in with Pharaohs, 6 burn on a swing, just taking down the Heimer Victor deck. And then we saw a value stranglehold on the board with Heimer Victor there, keeping Jen and Nyla from being able to connect just with an incredibly high number of turrets. You know, Jen and Nyla getting off to a little bit too slow of a start to be able to lock them out of the game. What a great series from Easy to Win. Well played, and well played to Caro's me as well. Just a sometimes those are the breaks.
Yeah. So with that is it for the day, Mr. Schwartz. Do you have any final remarks before we send it off?
No, just very happy to see a couple of great series and people taking different spins on a deck and seeing how those turn out. Awesome tournament as always, and thankful to be able to hang out with you and talk about cards.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for joining me on this cast. It's always a blast casting with you. So with that, we shall have Aegis next week. Tune in next Friday for week 4, the final week of Aegis Champions League. That's where we will find out who makes it off in the playoffs and who does not make it off in the playoffs. And Group 2 is absolutely insane. There are some spicy things going on over there, so you definitely don't want to miss that. But without further ado, stay safe, stay blessed, and as always, we'll see you next week.
Thank you.